Good evening and welcome to the Coach's Box. Ray Halbrook with Live Stream STL here. We are on second show tonight here. We had Main Street Sports earlier about 6 o'clock, so if you haven't checked that out, go back to the Live Stream STL page there on Facebook and check it out. We interviewed the third place Jefferson Blue Jays, third place in state, and so check that out. And you can also check our website, livestreamstl.tkdssports.com. We have a different-looking Chris Miller here. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Just got back. I'm doing great. Just got back from the farm. Cut some hay today. Worked some cattle down there. Talked to my old man where he overhauled the tractor while we were at it. So I just got in and showered and shaved and ready to talk sports with my good friends here tonight, Jason Jarvis, Riley Blair, and Greg McVeigh.
I'm loving the backwards cap, by the way.
Well, you know, it is my signature move. It lets people know that I'm ready for action.
Right. There you go.
Turn it around like that, you know, in case we're going too fast here. I don't want the thing to blow off my head.
Right.
So I am going to turn the show over to my good friend Jason Jarvis, Riley Blair, and Greg McVeigh here, and they're going to take it from here because I got some more work I got to do down on the farm.
There you go.
So,
Jeff Whitener closing out Main Street Sports and passing it over here to Coach Jason Jarvis.
It sounds like Dad, Chris Miller, had some honeydews.
Honeydew list today.
Well, we've already gotten some feedback on that. Josh Poole says, "Hey, the new Chris Miller is better."
I agree.
You know what? I couldn't believe how polite the Chris Miller we just heard was.
I know. What in the world?
I'm not used to polite Chris Miller, or even a smiling and a happy Chris Miller.
We are calling this episode Hay Fever because that's where Chris is at, out there cutting the hay. And,
good for him, man.
So, you know.
That's tough work, man.
Hey,
it's not easy.
Blair,
easy.
Do you get to get Chris back for all the bashing that you take when you were here?
Yeah. I didn't even get to watch it all. I heard some of it, but yeah.
I mean, you know.
I got told about a lot of it.
Yeah, you sure did.
That's all right. He's got it coming. Don't worry.
That's all right. Well, we got his jock strap today.
That's right.
We got it.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
There you have it.
Man.
I'm hungry, by the way.
Hope I don't miss anytime soon.
I had to go coach some basketball games tonight, so I haven't ate dinner yet, so apologize if the salsa and chips is in front of me here. Yeah, it was
How's league night?
It was a good night. Good night. You know, we had we played 2 freshman, sophomore games, and then 2 JV games, and then 2 varsity games.
He's got like 8,000 teams
I was gonna
out
say,
there. He's got, you know,
hey,
35 girls. I mean, you know.
That's the way you do it. You got to get kids playing
Walk in the
time
door. It's kind of like the clown car, you know, where the clowns get out of the car. It's like
they
they open the door for the keep on coming.
Look at
keep
all
on
these
coming.
herky girl basketball players. They just keep coming out of the car.
That's right. That's right. You know, we had a good night tonight. You know, we had a decent amount of kids should show up and got some quality minutes in. And
So I'll ask you this question. We'll set this up here.
This is gonna
You've
be
got
great.
40. You've got 40 kids, 50 kids. Well, no, I'm saying, how do you, as a coach? We'll just start this out. How do you, as a coach, make sure that everybody gets the playing time? You evaluate what you want to do in a situation where you have so many kids because. You know, we've had years, I know I've had years where it's like, man, I hope we get 7. That way we have somebody to sub. Or, you know, or if somebody gets hurt or, hey, somebody rolls an ankle, now we're playing with 4. So how do you know, on the other end of that spectrum, what do you do as a coach or what do you do as a staff to make sure that at the end of the day, it's summertime, everybody's getting an opportunity to play?
Well, you know, that's one of the reasons why we had 3 teams out there to be able to mix some of the minutes up and to get everybody playing time. And we sub in every 3 minutes. So we have a 3-minute rotation where we play 5 girls in, 5 girls out every 3 minutes. Now, we do mix this, the teams up, you know, in the first half to the second half of each game and try to get different looks with different kids just to try to see who gels well together, who plays well together, who does some right things, and moves kids into different positions. You know,
Now,
we've
They
We've,
didn't quite have 36 there today.
I
I'm
know,
exaggerating a little bit. He probably had around 20 total or
20,
something.
25,
you know,
25
probably. But
That's good, though.
it's fun to watch them
Yeah.
wheel in kids in and out. And
Well, you know, I mean, because that's kind of the similar thing that I've always done in summer about 3-minute spurts here. So as a kid, hey, I got 3 minutes to go hard, go all out. I know I'm going to get a sub here. I know somebody else is coming in. And it just, hey, go play fast, go play free, play loose, all that. Or if you want to try and execute offensively, if you're trying to work on something, put something in over summertime, it gives you an opportunity to do that.
We're definitely, it's fun to be able to just let the kids play a little bit and get them a little bit of freedom, and to make them understand that it's okay to be uncomfortable. And that's kind of been my motto this summer is we need to be uncomfortable in the summer because that's the way you grow. And so I've told the kids, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Be uncomfortable in the situation and learn from it and figure it out. So because if you're comfortable all the time in the summertime, you're really not getting any better. If you're doing consistently the same thing over and over and over again, you're really not improving and getting better. So, we take a lot of consideration with that. And then, we've been focusing a little bit on transition this summer to being able to run some transition and get kids to learn their different spots in transition.
Different lanes and all that.
Yeah, so we've done been big focus of part of it, and then just getting up and down. I mean, we want to run. We want those kids to get up and down and to focus on those kind of things. And so I think that's kind of the reasons why we have so many kids out there. We can be able to do that, and like you said, you're telling the kid, hey, you got 3 minutes. Give everything you got for those 3 minutes. Work as hard as you can. Go up and down as fast as you can. And because in 3 minutes, nonstop clock, you're getting ready to get a sub.
Right.
So now that's kind of the reason why we do that is gets the kid used to, one, getting in shape, two, learning how to play fast and hard for a certain amount of time.
Right.
And when they get in shape, then that 3 minutes turns into 6 or 7 or 8 because they're in shape and they can handle that. So, it's good. It's good to see.
Jarvis, what you got there, buddy?
Looks good.
Well, I got a
It's
little
solid.
Brothers Pizza without the crust because I'm almost 40 pounds down now. So
Attaboy.
Nice.
Attaboy.
I didn't have time to eat either.
Hey,
Had summer school, and then I've been enjoying I watched Jill play in 4 straight basketball games out there at Hillsboro. So
Nice.
it is fun to go out there. I feel like I live out there. I'll be out there again Wednesday.
Yeah.
And, our philosophy of summer is try to get as many kids involved as you can. I mean, some nights, like Wednesday, it gets a little scary for me if I'm going to have enough for the JV and the varsity league because we play at the same time. We're at different places.
Yeah.
And I think I've so far we've been good and had enough kids, and it's just fun getting out there. I've told a lot of kids, hey, I'm not going to yell at you about shooting. I'm not going to yell at you about things like that. I want you to go out here and work on things that you need to get better or you need to add to your game.
Right.
If a kid doesn't shoot from the outside or hasn't much, that's something maybe they need to add to their game. Let's work on that.
I'd agree.
So let me ask you this. As head coaches here, when you do a summer shootout or summer league right now, do you want it more structured in terms of, hey, we want to run specific sets, we want to run specific defenses, or do you want it more up and down, freelance a little bit because you want to try and maybe emphasize some skill? And I'll add this. Do you prefer, dislike pressing, being pressed? Is that something that you feel should be a part of summer, should not be part of summertime? I mean, I've always kind of had my philosophy as a head coach, but I want to open up that to you in terms, or is it just, we're going to play the game what the other team does, what the other team does?
We focus a lot on ourselves, and I think the other thing that we do is we will mix in a press just periodically just to get our kids to understand that it's, that uncomfortable stage where you put another kid or another team into being uncomfortable. You want to see how they react, but you also want to see how you react defensively when you're putting on a press, or if a team presses you, when you're not expecting it. How do you handle it? How do you understand it? So I think that, to me, we focus on 2 things in the summer, and we mix that up every year. So, like I said earlier, we're focusing on transition, and then we're focusing a little bit on the defensive end. And so I think those are the focuses that we have, and our kids know that. And other than that, we just let them play fast. We don't want them to walk it up and down the floor. We want us to get it and go and find a way to be able to create offense.
Create your identity.
Yes.
And I remember, Jarvis, while you're eating, I'll get you a break here. I remember there was one year we did the licking camp up in Arnold, and it was 1 year, maybe 2 years, where they had the format of you're going to play your game, and then about the last minute or so, or even after the game, all right, we're going to stop everything. And they kind of did it like a football jamboree style where, okay, Team A, you get the ball out of bounds for the last 3 seconds. We're going to flip-flop it. So they gave you different scenarios at the end because I like that year. Because at the end of the day, it's summertime. You want to work on some things. And I even have taken that into the jamboree because I know when we've done the jamboree, I've asked you maybe the last quarter, hey, is there anything you want to run?
Right.
Is there anything you want us to do for you? Because at the end of the day, summertime, going into jamboree, that's all practice trying to – it's the prelude going into the regular season.
Correct. And I think that's a big point of really, to me, the summertime is that. But I honestly don't think that a lot of teams do that. Mm-hmm. And you hear different teams that will try to focus a little bit more on open gym style and less opportunities to play games. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's a catch-22, I guess, if you really want to develop and work your kids in the gym and work on some things and try to get better, or do you really want to go and up and down and play games and let your kids just learn how to play without structure, basically, and see how they play? Because I think a lot of kids, and I'm speaking for the kids that I coach, if you don't give them an identity themselves and what they can and can't do, they're always thinking too much about it. Just go out and play. Just go out and play and show me what you can do without being told you got to go to point A to point B, or defensively you got to play in between this place and this place or whatever. And I think that has become a lost art, just letting kids just play and letting big kids be comfortable,
Right.
Because I don't think that kids are as much that way. I mean, they're so coachable. Yeah, you got to be told, I got to go to point A. Right. I got to go to point B. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. And I think that's the kind of thing that I take a lot of consideration with. Speaking of that, there's 4 of my basketball girls that just walked in the door here from some games. So, but,
I know that one.
Yeah, I hope you would. I hope you would. But I think as far as what you go, I mean, I know that you structure a little bit, kind of 50-50. You like to get in the gym, open gyms, half of them, and then half of them he does with his games. So he gets to piggyback off of what happened on the games and then puts them into play in his open gyms.
Well,
which
I tried to do a bunch of open gyms before school was out to try to get us ready, and participation was hit and miss. So some kids got the stuff, some didn't.
Right.
Some were learning on the fly.
Right.
Yeah. I like my kids to get put into as many game situations in the summer as I can. End of game situations, like the other night, we ended up going to sudden death overtime. We had to foul to get to where we needed to be to win the game, and that was something we had to work on. That was something the kids had to know. I had used a couple timeouts in that last, saved them all towards the end. And it was good to get them in those actual situations because I think the more pressure situations you can create in the summer is going to help you later on.
Oh, yeah. Let me, Jarvis, continue on. Let's talk about football. Let's talk about because right now I know you've got contact camps. People are going to team schools, programs. They're going to contact camps. You have your 7-on-7 leagues. You have obviously your weights in the morning, your conditioning. You have your contact days if you're just basically doing practice. So how does that maybe change on the football side? I could tell you right now, I would be nervous if I'm a head coach, small school, going to a contact camp, because I would want to do it. Part of me would say, let's go do this contact camp. We're going to go see some teams maybe we never see before. But the other part is, well, if I only have one quarterback, or I have one stud running back, or I've got 2 quality linemen, I'm scared to death that somebody's going to get hurt, and then I'm not going to have them for the season. What's your philosophy switching gears to football when it comes to the summertime, contact days, contact camps, etc.?
All those things that you mentioned, I think, depend on what level your team's at.
Okay.
Correct.
Like with us, we got a new head coach. We're probably going to run our 4th different offense in 4 years for this group of seniors. Probably not a good idea for us to go to a contact camp right now.
Right.
All right, so we need to probably concentrate on doing some things on our own. We've had a couple contact days already. We have one tomorrow. We'll have one on Thursday. I don't think we're going to the contact camp. I think we're keeping it all local. We're having 2 contact days a week here on out, I think, through June. Maybe it may be a little – I might be off. I don't have the schedule right in front of me. If you're a more experienced team running the same offense you've been running for 3 or 4 years, same defense, same coaches, you maybe feel more confident to go. I was at Crystal where there's some couple years that we were confident enough to go, and one of those years we went up to Central Methodist where my alma mater, we went there like 3 years in a row. But I had been there for a while. Ridgeway had been there as the head coach. We had both our systems in, and kids knew what we were going to do.
Right.
And that third year that we went up there to Central Methodist, and I might be wrong, third or fourth year, whatever it was, we finally beat Crowlettsville, and we put it on them up there. And that helped us later on. We saw them in the playoffs, and we actually beat them that year.
Gave the kids
and the
that
kids
mental
had
confidence.
that mental confidence. They're like, oh, we
can beat
can.
this.
We can do this.
Yep.
And so I just think it depends. I mean, it varies from coach to coach. And at a small school, it's kind of hard if you're limited in linemen. Like, I think we're limited in linemen right now. We're working to try to find some diamond in the rough there. And if you know you only have 5 – we have 5 returners starting for sure, hopefully. My son was like the 6th man on the offensive line last year, and then he ended up playing wide receiver. I don't know, what that combination. We're at a stage right now. We don't know where any of our positions are. We're learning a new offense, defense, and but some schools, if they're like, I bet Festus could go to a contact camp and get something out of it.
Right.
What about 7-on-7? Because I know from the high school perspective, offenses kind of become opened up. They like to go to spread. Now, they still might run some option out of it, but you see more spread teams. I think, the traditional, whether it's wing tee or the flex or whatever it is, you've got our 7 that's going to pound the rock 90% of the time, 95%. I think Hillsboro still does that. Outside of that, I can't think of too many local area team. Farmington's going to run the snot out of the ball. Do you like 7-on-7? Is it beneficial? Because I don't know. Back in the day, this is long. This is first second year teacher and coach and all that, being a part of it. I looked at it as, okay, we're running routes, but you know what? Are we getting anything out of it? Because there's no contact. It's not in pads. It's not necessarily live.
I don't know how I want to answer this with the new coach.
Okay, well, then maybe
taking over. No, but I'm going to answer it.
Okay, just say in general.
Well,
is it still even a thing?
In
7-on-7.
general, I hate 7-on-7.
Okay,
and this year I'm moving to coaching outside linebackers, which is something I've done before, and middle linebackers too. I've coached both, but I'm going to be doing outside, and I think Coach Hunter's doing inside. And my problem with 7-on-7, first thing these kids are doing, they're going backwards instead of forwards. What do you want a linebacker to do?
Read and go.
You want them to step forward. You want them going forward first, and that's what bothers me about 7-on-7. It's the first thing you do in the summer
because you're not running,
and we know the other team's not running. So what's those linebackers getting?
Trying to cheat or trying to find it,
trying to get outside, trying to get in those passing lanes instead of taking read steps like you would in a normal football game. That's where 7-on-7 kind of bothers me, as a defensive guy especially.
Okay.
All right, now as an offensive guy, if I'm a spread team especially, 7-on-7 is going to help me get timing with my quarterback, get timing with my receivers. It may even help me if I'm a split veer team or something. We're running veer. They'll run it at 7-on-7,
Years where I've seen it.
They'll run all the same action, and then they'll run their play action passes off of it or whatever. So, it's me. I'm not big on 7-on-7.
Okay.
But other coaches are.
Yeah, I'm just curious. It's kind of, 1,000 ways to skin a cat or whatever, and you've got to do what's best for you in the program. I'm just curious philosophically. Now, what about how do they run the contact camps? Is it jamboree style? Is it actually, hey, we're going to play a game, but we're going to shorten down the minutes, kind of like a basketball shootout? Does it vary from place to place? Are those beneficial? I know we kind of already talked about if it's beneficial or not, but
the ones I've been to, were like situational.
Okay.
You may have a goal line session where you do 8 plays on offense, 8 plays on defense. But then there may be some that there's scores kept. It just depends on where you go, how they have it set up. There's different ways that you could do it. I like the situational kind of, you get, okay, it's goal line or, inside the 20 or outside the 20 or however, they may do it. But there's different ways to do it. I haven't been to one in several years. And the one I had always been at was Central Methodist, so I just know how they did it. And, I guess it's what you want, what you're looking for. And I still think if you have a team that's a veteran group, it's something good to go to. Not saying a young team couldn't go.
Right.
But you got to make sure you get some stuff in before you go.
So let me play devil's advocate. And this, like I said, hypothetical. You got your new coach, you got your new offense, you got your new defense. As a head coach, if you were new, you move across the state, now you're the head coach for a football program. Would you say, yes, let's go to a contact camp so I can evaluate who I have? And I don't know if this guy can be the linebacker. I don't know if this guy can be the starting center. I don't know if this guy needs to be the quarterback, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Would you as a head coach say that would offer a benefit to us as a staff that we can evaluate if you can get all your guys or the majority of your guys there? Would you look at it like that? Or is there a different way to go about evaluations in your mind from the football? Because this is, I don't know, I look at basketball, football, you want to do some same things, but I'll go to shootouts all day long for basketball. We can play 50 games over summer, and that's great. I'm scared to death if I'm a small school. Now, if I'm DeSmet and I've got 100 kids in the program, then sure, Well,
heck, I already had another torn ACL at an open gym this year.
Okay.
So, at our school, and people I don't think they realize, next man up. Okay, next man up, but if this next man was one of your top 3 players that you have returning, you can't just turn around at Herky and grab next man up, and he's going to give the same production.
No.
I couldn't just find a Moreland last year, and now I got another kid.
Kind of like track, right? This guy runs a sub-12 100, but then the next guy up runs a 13. I don't even know.
Maybe
whatever. I'm making up numbers. It doesn't exactly work that way.
No,
right?
this kid may have been a 40% 3-point shooter, and I can't turn around and go, Let
me find one of those. Oh, yeah, right here he is. No.
If it's and the kid I lost this year's one of my best shooters I had coming back, and I'm just saying, at a small school like ours, you do worry about that kind of stuff.
You do.
I was at Hillsboro last week, and I kind of got on the refs a little bit because Gabe, I felt like, was getting fouled, and it wasn't getting called. And he got knocked to the ground like 3 or 4 times. About the 5th time, I'm like, dude, there's got to be some fouls. There's got to be some contact here, and I get it's summertime. But
I've always said, I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago, if I'm going to pay $250, $300, whatever it is, I still expect a quality. I don't want this just to turn into street ball. I want this to be organized. I want this to be, refereed or evaluated professionally. I get it that you're probably going to let some physicality go just because it's a running clock and the families that are there to watch the action rather than putting some guy on the line for a one-on-one worth 2 points. But, yeah, there's got to be some quality control to it.
What the heck's Miller talking about?
He says
Riley Nager played the whole year, I thought, when he first got there, right?
I think he's talking about Klaus.
Okay.
He never missed a beat. He's full of molasses. He's full of molasses.
Hey, he doesn't get to comment. He's not here.
That's right.
Why am I even reading this?
Yeah.
He's got speed press. He's got comments.
He's got hay bales to tie or something. I don't know. Something like that.
Figure it out. Well, I think that, and you brought up a really good point about small school, large school kind of thing, and you really worry about that. I also want to ask a question with some of these coaches that I know watch our show. What do other people's opinions mean?
This would be interesting
because I think that you see so many different philosophies, but you look back and you look at the different schools and the different programs and the different teams and what they do differently in the summer, and how that translates into the season. And does it benefit that team to do it that way compared to the other way, or is it, and I think it comes down to it. I think you see a lot more coaches being more on the side of just getting kids to play more, because especially in a small school, because you have to share so many athletes. They are three-sport. Right. A lot of small schools are three-sport athletes because they have to be to create teams.
Yes.
So I think that's kind of to me, that's kind of the philosophy that I feel like I want my kids to play, because they're really not getting a chance to play any other time except for the summer and then during season. So as far as
that, if few and far between, you're going to get the AAU guys, you're going to get the gym rats, you're going to get the let's just take it baseball for an example, right? Jefferson County's been baseball heavy for decades, right? Because every town values baseball.
Yep.
But I wouldn't imagine that they're doing not shootouts, but whatever you want to call it. It's not like they're R7 or Festus or they're doing school games. No. All those kids they're playing, whether it's Little League or Legion or Select. And so those coaches, Barnstormer, all that, Slava, all that. So they're not necessarily doing anything. They might have a week of camp, but they sit back, they get the benefit of other people and other programs.
I changed my philosophy on that when I was a kid. I mean, and I've been in other programs where we'd have a week of basketball camp. I don't have any basketball camp. Except my junior high.
Right.
And I did some open gyms with elementary, and hopefully next year I'm going to get an elementary camp going. But I've taken the aspect of I'm going to have me 4 or 5 open gyms, and then I'm going to go play 15 or 20 games, whatever it is. Yeah. I think I'm only having 3 open gyms left on the year. We're playing Wednesday night. We're playing in a shootout Friday. We're getting 2 games in. Yeah. We got a shootout on the 25th. We're going to get 3 games in. And so I've kind of taken a different philosophy. I want to get them playing games together. I want them in situations where they have to make decisions, not only with me barking them at them all the time, but maybe making a few on their own.
Well, and I think as the years have gone by, we go into same thing in the classroom. We have to not necessarily make it a dog and pony show, but you have to make things fun. And let's be honest, dribbling a basketball against defensive pressure instead of playing a game is not fun. And so if you're a kid,
they want to play the game.
They want to play the game. So once again,
there's still a winner and a loser.
Exactly.
And they still got that competitive nature, and you're playing against other kids from other schools who you're competitive in all sports. I mean, it got pretty chippy with us the other night in a game, and it actually both our games at Hillsboro got a little chippy, and I'm like, this is great. I mean, we lost both games, really close games, and I'm like, this is awesome. I want these kids to be put in these situations where they got to claw their ways back. We go down to Kingston on Monday, and we get jumped on by like 15 points in one of our games, and we come back and we won it, but it really took everything we had to come back and win that game because we played real sloppy, and we learned, hey, we can't come out early in a game.
You just hope as a coach that
I'm hoping they're learning those things.
Well, and on top of that, hey guys, if we're going to sit here and commit to the off season, or let's just say the summertime, to doing these games, then you as an individual, you're going to have to spend time on your own developing the individual skill.
Yep.
And so I think that's the chicken or the egg.
Well, and some of us are lucky enough. Like, I mean, Blair's got next level. He's got helping him. I got Josh Moreland and Jacob Moreland's dad, he's been taking the kids. They've been doing stuff. I don't know what they're doing, but they're going to play in some tournaments, and I think their first one's coming up here. So it takes a whole village, man. If you want to be a successful program, you have to get some parents involved. You got to get some people that are willing to get your kids into leagues outside of Jarvis time, outside of Coach Buddy time, outside of Coach Sims time.
And I would say Coach Jarvis time is probably 15%.
Oh, yeah.
And the other stuff is when they're third grade and then up. Because we all know it's kind of like, oh, well, this girl just started or this guy just started, but we're playing against teams that, they've been playing together since 3rd grade.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're not going to compete. No matter. There's no getting better when they have – well, they might be a freshman. That's great, but they've been playing for 8 years. Right. 9 years. So
and I'm lucky enough to have some kids that have been doing that. I mean, I had some good parents. I had Jim Vaughn. I had the Blacks. I had a bunch of families that were willing to put in time, the Morelands, to get these kids playing together when they were in 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. Right. And I think if we can do well this year, I think it's going to attribute – a lot of it attributes to them playing all this time.
So that's kind of where we want to kind of maybe break here. But when we come back, let's talk a little bit about, maybe the side of summer and how that impacts other sports and how the connection comes with it together when you have kids multiple sports.
Well,
how does that help you?
And that's what Miller just put on here, and I'll bring him up even though we said we're kind of banning him. But if you play baseball or football and can't make it to basketball stuff, kids need to go home and shoot on their own. Kids played 3 sports back in the day, but they went home and shot at home or played pickup games with their neighbors. You got to develop your own game, either shooting or dribbling. And I was talking to Dalen Parks the other day, the guy that runs 34 Hoops, and we were just having a conversation, and he goes, Jarvis, I remember all of us that we played. I might get done with football camp, ride my bike over to the baseball field for baseball practice, and then get a ride over to the YMCA to play until it closed, and then maybe back to Sunset Park to play some more basketball under the lights.
All right.
And I'm not saying that there aren't some kids doing that, but it's not like it was.
Right.
And you got to put in the time if you want to be great. I watched that Kingston girl today play against Hillsboro. They had like 40-something points, and she probably had 30 of them. And I'm talking,
but
her shot was beautiful
and
today.
I can tell you right now, she's in the gym all the time.
Yep.
Dude.
She's in the gym all the time.
She is going to score a crap ton of points this year.
Well,
she
already has.
She's a single sport.
I couldn't tell you
I don't
that,
know.
but I just
I don't
know
know.
that she
she's
lives
really
and breathes
I bet she is.
basketball.
I bet she is.
She might be,
Yeah.
but she can shoot.
She fills it up, doesn't she?
Oh my gosh, she can shoot the rock.
It's a going thing that when kids are successful, success breeds more, and kids want to do it more when they're having success, and that's another point that maybe we want to talk about in the second segment here before. But Ray, we'll turn it over to you for a break here, and
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
All right, you watch the Coach's Box. We will be right back.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Ray Halbrook from Livestream STL.
And I'm Zach Bone with Festus Post 253 American Legion Baseball. No, I don't like that either. Let's go back.
Hi, I'm Ray Halbrook with Livestream STL.
And I'm Zach Bone with Festus Post 250.
Hi, I'm Ray Halbrook with Livestream STL.
And I'm Zach Bone with Festus Post 253 American Legion Baseball. This summer, we're partnering with Livestream STL for a fundraiser that will bring you every game of the 2021 season right here on Livestream STL. If you're interested in signing up, please click the link below. If you're interested in sponsoring one of these games, please contact Livestream. A portion of all proceeds will be donated back to the Festus American Legion Baseball program.
We hope to see you out at the ball field and online.
Better?
Perfect. I like it. I like it a lot.
For fine Mexican cuisine,
A family atmosphere.
any place to watch your local sport teams. Come out to La Pechangas.
Check out our 4 locations: Arnold, Herculaneum, Crystal City, and Bonter.
Come out to La Pechanga.
I do this for the love of the kids. I do it for the love of the coaches and the ADs because there's not enough high school coverage in the St. Louis area. There's just not. Once again, I get to keep my relationships with guys like you and a lot of the other great coaches and administrators and former athletes. And that's one of the cool things that we're going to do here too. Is I've been fortunate covering some great great coaches and great kids, but the caravan is. I wasn't letting it die, and sure enough, we're here now, and the reboot is in full effect.
Wiley Agencies have locations in Festus and Arnold to serve you. We offer home, vehicle, business, and life insurance, as well as investments and much more. We utilize a custom approach to make sure you, your family, and assets are properly protected. Give us a call today for great rates and savings at 636-764-6294 for the Festus office or 636-333-9903 for the Arnold office. We'll be happy to review your current coverage or just talk sports. You can also email us at SeanWiley@allstate.com.
Jefferson College has affordable degree options for students of all ages. Plus, register before December 11th and you could win a $250 book scholarship or other great prizes. Jefferson College provides safe on-site and online options and many exciting career pathways like humanities, business, social science and public service, math, physics and technology, and science and health. Students who know, go Jeffco. Enroll now at jeffco.edu.
Hi, this is Coach Riley Blair from the Herculaneum Black Cats.
Hi, this is Coach Jarvis from the Herculaneum Black Cats.
Hi, this is Coach Zach McVeigh with the Jefferson Lady Blue Jays.
Hi, I'm Chris Miller from St. Pius X High School.
And you're watching the Coach's Box.
And you are watching the Coach's Box
on Livestream STL.
On Livestream STL.
And we are back for our second segment. Don't forget, we got a lot going on this week, and there's stuff on here that I've even left out here. Wednesday the 16th, Festus at the JC Blazers, 5:30 p.m. live from Fox High School. The 17th at 5:15 p.m., DeSoto takes on Festus 253 out at Jefferson College. Again, 5:15 on our pregame there. Festus at Rock Memorial Friday, the 18th, 7:45 is our pregame there, and the 19th, if we got two different scenarios here. This is either going to be a 9-inning game or a doubleheader the 19th, beginning at 4:45 p.m. And also, don't forget, we don't have that on there, but we're going to be hosting a car show 10:30 Saturday out at Bada Bing Classics. Vinny Lombardo, great guy out there, and this is a benefit, so we've got some information on that. Scroll down on our Facebook page. We'll get that on your docket on Saturday about 10:30. We'll go live with that, and if you're interested in helping us out here advertising with the Coach's Box or Jeffco Diamondcast Baseball, give us a call 314-852-4398 or livestream STL at Outlook.com. As we jump right into our next segment here, guys, take it away.
All right.
Hold on.
You weren't on, I don't think.
You're on now.
All right. Before we go on to the next segment, I do want to give a shameless plug here. My son's baseball team is having a car wash on this Saturday in DeSoto. I'm at the Dairy Queen there in DeSoto from 11 to 3. So if you want to come out, support the SMCI Legends 12U baseball team, come on out to DeSoto there at the Dairy Queen from 11 to 3, and the young men will wash your cars for a donation, and we'd love to see a big crowd out there supporting these guys. They had a phenomenal tournament this weekend and playing against literally a AA, AAA tournament, and a team that's been a single A, AA team, and competed really well. And so, we want to give a shout out to them, but we'd love to have a big crowd out there at the car wash on Saturday from 11 to 3 there in DeSoto at Dairy Queen.
So you could be over there getting your car washed and watching Livestream STL doing the car show.
That's right.
All at the same time.
All at the same time.
Deal.
Right? I mean, I was going
to take the clean car over to the car show
afterwards. I like how you work there.
I know. I wasn't going to do a shameless plug. I was just going to do a plug on Livestream, Jeff, the whole gang here, and everything they've been doing and how much involved they are with the baseball this summer. Mm-hmm. And, if you don't haven't had them come and do anything for you, Ray and his staff and everybody works here. They're all
have
out
staff?
here. Yeah, I think you do. I mean, you got all kinds of people working
Four
for you.
knuckleheads.
You got four knuckleheads every week. Yeah, I mean, we're sketchy staff, maybe. But,
hey, if you want the coach's box to come do your game, it costs extra.
But what I'm saying is, they have so many opportunities out there to get involved in the community, and they're trying to just support Jefferson County and our athletics, and it's a great thing. And we wouldn't be involved with it this long if we didn't think it was. And Ray and them do a great job. And
we don't suck.
No,
I think the biggest thing about it is it is a benefit to the young athletes in our area. It gets them, recognition, one, and two, I think it gets recognition for businesses that want to sponsor them, because I think it's very important that these young men and women get some camaraderie that they deserve. 'Cause to me, I mean, we have so many great athletes in our county that really need to be getting noticed from the college standpoint.
And I think it's been happening. I mean, I see it all the time, breaking news or this and that, and putting stuff out there about kids around here. And that saw several basketball kids. They're going to actually go play college basketball.
Right.
And Jefferson R7 was on the show right before us, and going to the Final Four is a big deal. I don't care.
Yeah.
I know it's the Blue Jays, and when we play them, I want to kick the tar out of them. But when the county school's going, I mean, you got to, as a county, you got to recognize that, and you got to be behind that. And I think our county does a decent job of doing that. When everyone else is out, and you still see a school that's there, and you support it. I mean, heck, I try to watch it, and when Jefferson R7 was making a run in football, I went and did a game, and I enjoyed every minute of that. And I just like to see county athletes, Jefferson County. I've lived here my entire life except my 5.5 years of college. And, I mean, I just love –
for doctors, right?
I love to see it. I just love to see it out there, and I love what we're doing here.
And I think that goes along with two other things that I think is important.
I'm sorry.
That was
Not
good.
a doctor.
That was awful.
That was good.
Those are for doctors, though.
I got my master's degree, man.
Dr. Jarvis. That would be hilarious. But I still love you, Coach.
Do you have your master's degree?
No, sir.
Okay. I can bring my transcripts 4.0. I mean, come on now.
There you go.
Goodness gracious.
I'm so sorry.
But, I think that the biggest thing about it, and this says a lot about this county, I mean, I say that, we take a lot of pride in being competitive amongst each other. But when it all comes down to it, everybody appreciates everybody in this county. I think you have a relationship, when you step on the floor, the court, the field, whatever it is. I think during that time, you're competitive with each other. But once that's over with,
you go have wings.
Yes.
Maybe unless you're Terrell Jarvis. But then you might not have wings.
Yeah. You see a lot more of that in this county, I think, than I think most. I mean, I've been, I lived in Southern Illinois for 18 years, and you don't see that camaraderie amongst a county side of it, where I think in this county you have a great relationship among the different schools, and when they're playing each other, now they don't like each other.
Right.
No.
But once that's over with, they can go at the end of the game, shake hands, and be brothers and be friends, and that's what
I've been lucky to work at 2 districts in our county, and I've also gotten to be lucky enough that my sons went to 3 different districts in this county. So my sons went to Crystal, he went to Festus, and now he's at Herky. My daughter went to Festus for a while, now is at Herky. Yeah. And they've played on several other teams and little leagues, and I've coached YMCA and all that stuff. And, it just I'm proud to be from Jefferson County. So I get mad at the 105.7 The Point sometimes. They make fun of Jefferson County. I'm like, man, I want to call in and just go, bam.
So Michelle Gebhardt jumps in and says, I think Jarvis even wore blue to that football game.
It was a St. Louis Blues, I think,
Was
or
it?
something.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
All
blue.
right.
But
I think it was the live stream STL show.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was live.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it got cold.
We got you in the live stream
I was
STL
in the
blue?
live yeah. I mean, it was a Blue Jay game. They're in the playoffs. We're not. I mean, you know.
You two get that game together, didn't
We
it?
did the Vincent. We did the Vincent game.
No, we did the Vincent game.
Oh, yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, I did the. I forgot about Ray getting mad.
That was a
Oh
fun
my
one.
gosh, he got mad. That was
That was a
great.
fun one.
Woo! Me and Zach were like, oh my gosh, I've never seen Ray get like that, man.
We need people to check things at the door.
Oh
that
my
night.
God,
That was interesting.
You know, something that I'll take
Well,
we'll
the
go back to
private
that.
schools do it different. But
Yeah,
anyway.
We'll go back to that, coaches supporting each other. Coach Tim Winkler, that's the girls basketball coach at Grandview. This weekend we're playing down in Perryville. He's from Perryville, lives in Perryville. He came out and supported my kid and our team this weekend. Stayed out there in the 105-degree heat and watched my boy play 2 games.
Wow.
Sat out there in the outfield
He's awesome.
and watched.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
And was really supportive of me. And I even offered my family to come when we had a down play for 2.5 hours of sitting in the heat. He said,
Try that.
it was crazy. Yeah. He said, come on over to my house. I'll let you in my house for air conditioning. You got your family can come on over. We'll feed you for lunch if we need to. We'll take care of you. That's the kind of relationship that coaches around this county have.
We talk bad about Perryville a lot, but Bruce treats us pretty well.
Sure he does.
Well, except when Uncle John, all them guys are reffing. But other than that, I mean,
has anybody had an update on Bruce? How's he doing?
I think he's doing pretty well.
I think he's doing
we
well
talked about
from what
that
I've
this
heard.
weekend. Yes,
Thoughts are with you, Mr. Bruce.
Yes, but that's the kind of thing we were just talking about. I mean, he didn't have to do that, but
Right.
Out of respect to me, and my family, he said, "Hey, I want to come out and support you.
Right.
I appreciate you as a friend, and as a fellow coach, and so I think that goes a long way when you're in a county of competition. I mean, Grandview and Herculaneum has had some major competitions in the last few years for sure.
Especially in girls basketball.
Yes. But you know what? At the end of the day, we could respect each other. We
Sure.
respect each other outside of it. It's a game. It's a competitive game. We're competitive for that time frame, and then after that, we become friends again.
I got to even say this for Tim Winkler. I know you guys were at my mom's wake and everything. He come at right before we closed everything off that night too. So, appreciate that.
That's the kind of guy that he is, and so I wanted to give him a shout out. I know he's probably not watching because I think his team was finishing up there at Hillsboro, but him and I and Coach Jarvis had a probably 25-minute talk tonight just about a little bit of everything, really. Yeah. And but that's the kind of relationship that this county has and deserves respect from, because I think it's important to see that this county is a Class Act county, and especially when the school districts come together as a whole, as a county, and you see that.
Well, I'm going to piggyback off of that, and I was thinking about this on the way into the show, and I know we did this down in MAAA. It was in North County. We did that unified game, and I would challenge all of the JCC schools to start that up, just to, and I know it might be more difficult maybe at the small schools. I know the large schools could probably work that out this upcoming year or in the not-too-distant future. But you talk about an awesome opportunity, not only for the kids, but just the community, and there's not a dry eye in the house when you get to watch those kids play up and down in between halftime.
We did it at Herky, and it was
oh
awesome.
Oh my gosh,
4 years ago,
we did. So great. I hope that maybe they can bring that and make that an every year event at multiple different school districts, because I tell you what, it's great for the kids that get to play in the game, but I think it's sometimes even better just for whether it's the players or whether it's the fans that are in the stands. That is something that is just really, really, truly special.
Well, I'll take a lot from that game, and we'll talk about that a little bit. I think that, that night we had beat R7 earlier in the year, probably 25, 30 plus. We came into our place in conference time, and they ended up beating us really in the last 2 minutes. And right after that game, we had that unified game. You know what? And that entire loss was completely shut off
Mhm.
after watching that game. I mean, you talk about cold chills and,
Oh,
and
man,
goosebumps,
it's-
and just to watch those kids' reaction, but more importantly, to watch the support of both communities coming together for those kids, unified together as one, and that's what it's about. That's
Right.
what it's about the kids.
Yeah.
It's honestly about
ADs,
the
we know
kids.
you watch. Soups, we
Yes.
know you watch.
Yes.
Let's put that together for the community. I think that would be
it's a countywide thing, and maybe take it out there to Jeffco and do it.
Oh my God!
Oh, look at this guy! Oh, he's off the farm.
Oh, my
Look
goodness.
at this guy.
Oh my goodness!
Man, you changed a little bit. Man, you changed a little bit earlier.
I was gonna say,
deodorant,
where's
bro.
the
Deodorant.
Oh,
Man, Ray, he changed a lot from the beginning of the show.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
Man, all dirtied up. Man, that
it
was
is
good.
what it is, right?
That was good.
Oh man!
I knew you couldn't
Farm.
miss
If
it.
you're gonna pull up a chair, we just got to be on that side over there
stay
by Jar.
over
There's
there.
a chair already over there. Chair already over there, right in front of the cup.
The mic's
I
over
get-
there. The
yeah,
headset's over there.
no, the headsets are
I
over
got
there
to
too.
set a headset up. Oh my gosh! Lordy,
Good stuff right here, man.
jeez.
If you can't tell, that's Coach Miller with his MPV Farms shirt on there. So
He drove 125 miles an hour to get here.
probably.
Yeah, that hour and 45-minute drive.
That's it.
Yeah, he does not
And
do
that's
anything
wrong.
illegal.
Yeah,
That's wrong.
That's wrong.
Lordy. Oh my goodness.
But anyway, while Chris is getting set up, what we were going to kind of talk a little bit about what coming back from the show. You said you had different perspectives on stuff. with the
I think
small
that
school,
you
big
come
school.
you come into play with. We talked about at the beginning. Is it important for kids to, you want your kids as much as you can with
Your hat's
you,
on wrong.
and be a part of your program. But we take a look at, in a small school, you have kids that school. I'm talking about Coach Spool.
Yeah.
But
He got quiet after your comment.
he did. He got quiet
Because he found the table.
But as far as a small school goes, when you look at these kids, do you think it's as productive? I know we want our kids all the time as much as we can possibly get them. When you have those 25 days, we're going to use them all. Use every bit of it. Every
20
day.
days.
20 days, I mean. Sorry.
Oh, man, no
Sorry.
wonder. I was wondering.
Used to be 25.
well,
but
That's how the girls get.
That's how the girls get all over there.
I got my calendar for you. I'll show you all the days we use. But
wow.
you got
All
me all
20.5.
Guilty conscience.
But I think when you look at the concept of, but like he was talking about, he's been at a large school side of it, where a small school, those kids got to be able to be versatile in all sports in the summer. Do you think it is beneficial for your kids to maybe go with another sport and be beneficial competing in another sport? Maybe during the same time as yours, is it beneficial to you that they're competing at least, besides not just showing up? I think that's, to me, is a big point of emphasis.
Put that arm down.
I know.
But
Here, hang on. Let me put one finger up. You're number one, Zach.
as far as being selfish, yes, am I selfish to want them all the time? Absolutely. But is it beneficial for me to be able to allow them to be doing competitive stuff with other sports within your school district? Do you think is there a difference between small school and large school?
Well, we go back to the numbers, right? So football is a battle of attrition.
Yes.
I think basketball is a battle of attrition. Baseball is always going to come down to pitching. If you've got three guys that are quality guys, you're probably going to give yourself a good chance in the playoffs. But if we're going to sit here and we're going to talk just in general, small school to big school, yes, you want your kids going out and playing, and you want them to be with you 100% of the time. But if they're going to go out and say, hey, I've got volleyball camp this week, or my select such and such, my select softball team's playing, I'm not going to be able to play a basketball game this night. They're doing something. They're not sitting at home on TikTok or YouTube, and they're not sitting in the AC.
What's TikTok?
Exactly, right? So they're at least doing something. And honestly, they're probably working different skill sets or different movements that's going to help them out. I mean, I'll say this, being in North County, we had, I guess if you want to say a benefit for me, I mean, we had, a girl that is playing D1 basketball right now, one of the girls that I had, and her senior year, she didn't do a thing for volleyball. Okay, she was a great volleyball player, but she knew her goal was to go D1 basketball. So she made it known way before the summer. I'm going to be in Chicago for this showcase. I'm going to be at Atlanta here. I'm going to be at here. My goal is to go give myself a scholarship. Now, you got to understand, this is top echelon talent in the area that's, once again, going to go fight for dollar signs for scholarship money. So you, as a coach, you understand that, right? I think you've got that if you want to talk about it a little bit. But, if you're on the other side, of that, as a coach, you just say, I'm going to get them come season time anyway. You bring up a good point because I'm always negative Nelly, but but you bring up the point of, well, that just allows another kid to develop, to get more minutes, that then hopefully come district time makes the bench that much deeper. Mm-hmm. So you've helped out, kind of given me that perspective rather than, well, we don't have so and so, oh my gosh, we've got to play this school. We were already going to struggle. Now is it even worth playing right now?
So I think it kind of, you want the kids to play as many sports as they can, mm-hmm. and I'm a big believer in playing multiple sports. Mm-hmm. I selfishly, I want the kids there. I mean, if it's the sport I'm coaching. So if they're going to football while I have stuff going on, yeah, I want them there because mm-hmm. I want my players. But at the same time, when they get to a certain age or if they have the opportunity to play at the next level, mm-hmm. and that's their number one, whatever sport mm-hmm. that they're missing mine for, I'm okay with it because of what you said. Because that's how I feel. It's like, okay, we'll just try to develop another kid. Well, what happens if that player that's plays multiple sports is in foul trouble or God forbid mm-hmm. gets hurt? Mm-hmm. You want somebody who's going to be able to step in and know how to handle things or mm-hmm. have had game situations. So at the end of the day, as long as they're not sitting on the couch eating Cheetos or whatever that Insta-Snap or
Are you on
whatever
the couch
stuff.
No, the only time I get
Insta-Snap? What the heck is
the
that?
old Ron White? Are you naked on a beanbag?
I want them to at least
Cheetos?
communicate with me. That's the biggest thing that I've tried to tell our kids. Like, look, I know you got stuff going on. I know you're either working. I know you're either playing another sport. You're doing showcases for your mm-hmm. number one sport. Mm-hmm. Just tell me so that way I know who I have, right. mm-hmm. and I can kind of have an idea before I walk in the gym and go, oh, hell no. We only have this many kids.
Well, and you saying that, like, Wednesday's a perfect example for me. I'm playing a JV and a varsity game that same day. So, dude, just let me know so I can say, okay, I might need to pull this kid to the varsity game. Mm-hmm. Sorry, JV, you're only going to have 6. I need another guy or whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. And the communication thing is, and, I've had a couple that I have one right now that I have actually 2 that baseball is their sport. Mm-hmm. So I knew this summer I wasn't going to see him much. Mm-hmm. Right? But he always replies when I post, hey, games this time on Wednesday, this time on Monday. Who's going to be there?
Yeah.
And he always replies, and says, hey, Coach, we got a baseball tournament. Or, hey, I got a baseball game that night. Or, hey, I can be there this week. Mm-hmm. So that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And I think that, that kind of goes off to the point of what
I never worried about Duncan.
Is why do coaches get so worked up on having their kids completely all the time compared to at least their kids are out competing. And and to me the summer is about competing, whether it's competing in practice against your teammates, whether it's competing against another team, or whether it's competing against yourself in a skill by yourself where you're making yourself better.
I think where we all get aggravated is when we find out, that kid is actually here, but he's not playing his other sport. He just didn't feel like coming to mind.
Correct.
And that's where you get aggravated.
But we all know, we've seen kids that at the end of their sophomore year, and by the time that you see them on the court in November, juniors, how much different, whether they've grown, whether they've gotten bigger, whether they've gotten stronger, whatever. Summertime's a great time to showcase what you can do, and it gives the coaches your first look, the first opportunity, the first impression. Like, Oh man, he might actually be able to help us this year. We didn't have him on our
yeah.
radar.
Well,
Now he is. Bam, there he is.
And I'll say this for the kid, from the kid perspective, and I'll use my son as an example. I try and say this as a dad now that he's in junior high, he's involved with school sports and all that. You don't want to look back at your career or your time in sports and ever think about regret in the terms of, I wish I would have done this, I wish I would have done that, woulda, shoulda, coulda. Man, I wish I would have put more time in. I wish I would, no, go
I could
out.
have been this. I could have
Because
done that.
maybe I could have been a better such, fill in the blank, right? And I think from the kids' perspective, hopefully families that watch a show can understand that and relate to that and say, hey, you know what? Hey, you may not want to go to open gym or you may not want to do this, but think about it. You've got 4 years in high school. After that, you're going to be an adult in the real world, and 95% of you, it's done.
That's right. Have no regrets.
Done. No regrets. Right?
No, I'll be honest with you. My dad said, hey, listen, if you don't want to play sports, I need to make sure that we have the best, cleanest fence lines in Iron County. And I'm like, dude,
and you're not playing sports, and look what's going on.
I know, right?
Right?
Well, yeah, I know. That's. I mean, my son, he doesn't have a job right now. Well, he plays 3 sports.
That is the job.
And he's going to school. He's taking a summer school course. And I'm like, dude, if you stay active, I'll take care of it. I'm not going to make you work unless, you don't.
Because all the values of going to work, you're getting the same values.
By going to practice or going to games or going to whatever.
You mean you have a boss, you have to do what they tell you to do?
Right.
What's that? Oh.
All right. Well, guys, let's turn it over to Ray here. We'll go to another break here and come back with our third segment and finish out the show. So
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching the second segment.
You're
Ray,
watching the Coach's Box. We'll be back.
Hi, I'm Ray Halbrook from Livestream STL. And I'm Danny Sigmund with Rock Memorial Post 283 American Legion Baseball. We'll be partnering this summer with Livestream to bring you all of Rock's action for the entire season online. If you can't make it out to the field this summer, please click the link below. You'll be able to watch all the action online. If any businesses out there would like to sponsor us, please reach out to Ray at Livestream STL. As part of the proceeds that are generated will go back to the baseball program. We hope to see you online and at the ball field.
Tell us we can't, and we'll prove you wrong. Knock us down, and we'll get right back up. Call us risk takers, misfits, bad boys. But we know what we want, and it feels like American muscle. Looks like advanced engineering, and smells like fresh, cut grass. Bad boy. Mow with an attitude.
Imagine an HVAC as unnoticeable as the air itself. Sounds pretty good, huh? The new Daikin Fit. Air intelligence.
I do this for the love of the kids. I do it for the love of the coaches and the ADs because there's not enough high school coverage in the St. Louis area. There's just not. Once again, I get to keep my relationships with, guys like you and a lot of the other great coaches and administrators and former athletes. And that's one of the cool things that we're going to do here too is, I've been fortunate covering some great coaches and great kids, but, the caravan is, I wasn't letting it die. And sure enough, we're here now and the reboot is in full effect.
Value. Let's talk about value right now. We here at Livestream STL believe that value is key to keeping our community at a high level. Do us a huge favor today. Talk to your athletic director about the value that Livestream STL brings to your school. Talk to your superintendents as well. Let them know that you want Livestream STL in your schools because we bring high levels of value back to your kids. Thanks again for watching the broadcast.
Hey, this is Chris Miller, and you're watching the Coach's Box on Livestream STL, the best sports streaming show there is on Facebook.
And we are back for our final segment here. Before we go to that real quick, just a real quick recap of what we got going on this week. Festus at the JC Blazers, 5:30 Wednesday. Thursday, DeSoto at Festus. That's 5:15. Festus at Rock Memorial, the 18th at 7:45. JC Blazers at Rock Memorial at 4:45 on Saturday the 19th. If you're interested in getting that, click that, hover your camera phone over the Watch the App Q code right there. You'll be able to, it'll take you straight to our link to sign up for the subscription and be able to catch lots and lots of great American Legion and Slava baseball. We've had a lot of folks call about that, which has been great. And don't forget, tonight is the last night to get the early bird special too, full season. Otherwise, you got to pay about $30 to $40 more than that. So just wanted to throw that out there. Today is the last day for that. So we move into our final segment. Fix that camera here real quick. Get it over here to the guys. And guys, we are going to roll into our final segment here. What do we got?
We are also, we lost our hay bale over here. I don't know what happened. It fell off the tractor or something.
I think you ran out of gas.
Man, that was a quick, just, hey, I'm here, bye.
Literally, hey.
Hey, you know,
He was gone.
he just had to show up, you know, so he could say he'd been to everyone.
Yeah.
I have not missed one show. I missed a show. Even when I'm baling hay.
But,
Well,
you know,
stunk.
Oh, my God. Did it smell like some sweat over here.
Ugh.
But, but this Thursday, I want to talk a little bit about the sad but true St. Louis Cardinals right now. You know, we're struggling a little bit. Not only are we struggling offensively, but we're struggling with pitching.
Yeah.
Bring up Gorman.
We're struggling with consistency.
Bring up Gorman.
We're struggling with decision making. We're just struggling with bullpen. We're just, struggling with, maybe the correct lineup. Consistent on a daily basis. I feel like we're changing too many things too quickly. We're not letting things work. Keep putting the guys in the same positions and let them fight through whatever. I mean, we constantly make a change, and a lot of people talk about Tony La Russa and said, well, if Tony La Russa was a micromanager and managed it, but you know what? He's managing this year and his team's having a lot of success.
Yeah.
And you know what? But he didn't really change things. He let things go, but then when he made changes, he stuck with them, and they may not have worked for, right off the bat, but they seem to always play out down the road, and I feel like that's where the Cardinals are struggling a little bit right now. Is there's no consistency across the board at any position, any play, any player, and to me that's why we're struggling.
What are you talking about, Bro O'Neill?
Bro O'Neill.
Hey,
he's the only consistent part of the game.
All-star, our one all-star this year.
Him or Arenado?
Arenado. I think
it'll be
Yachty
O'Neill.
will make it. I think Yachty will make it too.
Hey, you're gonna no. When you're fourth in the division right now,
You can't have that many.
You get one all-star.
I agree.
Okay,
Yes.
so it's going to be Bro Neal because of his stats.
Probably.
Right? And so I'm
why
worried, as they've gone on this stretch here, each day a girl's like, Arenado going to stay? Does he want to stay? I don't think he signed up for this. I don't think. And then the other thing is, once again, is the appeasement. Is it Mo and DeWallet appeasing the fans, saying, "Well, here's one piece for it. Here's Arenado. You need about 10 other pieces, but we'll here you go. This will work for you right now. This will appease everybody."
Well, that's what everyone's talking about, and I don't know that Arenado is just going to be gone because I don't know.
It probably depends on what's going inside the clubhouse that we don't know.
Yeah.
Is the team chemistry okay? I don't see that being an issue. It's just right now you have had. I'm going to fire everybody on the daggone medical staff, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to hire somebody else because I'm tired. I'm tired of everybody getting hurt year after year after year. And it's the same song and dance. Oh, it's 10 days turns into how many months? You're not good at your job.
Yeah, I
you
agree.
are. Somebody somewhere is not doing. If old Cologne at 48, I saw this the other day, can still pitch and throw 7 innings. If he can do that, then
who's he pitching for? I didn't see it.
some. Who knows what league? California Penal League.
Well,
or
let's
something
get
like
him.
That, right? But
I don't even care at this point.
But
for the California.
it's a major league reference, right?
He may not be healthy when he shows up here. But
but you know what? At some point,
I liked it.
It's every year. It's every year. People are hurt and on the shelf. And why? You're not doing your job. Somebody's
Coach Ron
not doing.
Rhodes, I love his post. The Cardinals will be just fine. Why don't you go ahead and just blame Carpenter? Patience, boys.
Patience.
Who said that?
Patience.
Ron Rhodes.
It's middle of June. Talk about patience.
Wait a minute. Okay, so I just had Carpenter pulled up now that he mentioned his name.
And Brian Deering asked, is Schilt the right person for this team?
He is.
And I honestly think he does a good job. But here's what I think that his biggest struggle is I don't know that he knows how to coach these guys out of the slumps, to try to get them to understand the different concepts of how to play through that. I don't know that he's that kind of – I don't think we have that veteran coach on staff anymore.
We don't have the lineup, guys. The roster's the roster. What did we hear? Oh, our pitching, our starting pitching, or our pitching's going to be,
as deep as it's ever been.
Deep, and it's going to be the best pitching staff or one of the best pitching staffs in all of Major League Baseball. Okay, and where have we gone? We've gone from, 3? No, wasn't Martinez out for a while?
Yes.
So 4 of your 5. The one guy that's been consistent this year is the 38, 39-year-old Wainwright. That's the only guy that's been consistent in your starting
he's
5.
been the best pitcher.
Everybody, and Flaherty's 8-1, 8-2. So
I know, but I mean, other than Flaherty, he's been the best.
But health. You can't get on any type of rhythm when 4 out of your 5 starters are constantly hurt, and now you've got to play. This guy's got to go to the rotation. This guy's got to go to the bullpen. Oh, wait, and then on top of that, starting corner outfielders out, a shortstop's out.
I'm still on Matt Carpenter, who's batting like 170 with 17 RBIs, 19 hits, 11 runs. Oh, come on.
How many at-bats?
106.
Okay. But, to
if
go
I'm
back,
looking at the right stats.
If to talk about your comment about Schilt, his hands are tied when it comes to all these injuries, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably like the Blues and the Blues coach. So he won a Stanley Cup the year before or the 2 years before, and then before COVID, and now all the injuries happen. Did he all of a sudden just not become a Stanley Cup coach? Does he not know what he's doing in 2 years? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like hold your horses on Schilt and the coaching. Now, if we want to talk philosophy of are we going to hit and run more, are we going to bunt more, are we going to steal more, then we can have that conversation all day long.
They were saying that on ESPN when I was listening to it, that maybe Schilt needs to just take the card and just shake it up, pull him out of a hat what batting order is. Just make the batting order out of any way. And then also maybe he needs to do hit and runs when they're not supposed to be doing hit and runs, or anything to try to
mix it up.
And I get it. It's the whole Moneyball analytics thing. But at some point, you know what? If it doesn't work, then you've got to change it up, and you can go to the eyeball test.
Well, and
I still go back to
some
that.
of our eyeball tests. I mean, okay, like you got Gorman who's just shredding the ball right now in Double-A.
Right. That's going to come back to money. That's just going to come back to starting the clock.
I know it
money.
is, and blah blah blah. But what do we? I mean, if we're playing Edmund in right field mainly, right? Aren't we? And we keep playing.
It changes. I mean, he's the Swiss Army knife right now.
Yeah, right
we keep having a Carpenter out there.
Right. But
some of the things we do are just so I hate them.
Well, and I want to go back to the veteran, leadership. Yachty and Waino, but you think as part of a coaching staff, you lost Oquendo, you really lost Willie McGee, you lost guys that are veterans of the game, that can kind of coach these guys on some of the different philosophies of how to handle slumps, how to handle situations, of injuries, and what do you do? You don't have a Dave Duncan as your pitching coach now.
Well, I'll go back
against
to
Maddox, but I don't know that the relationship is built there because we don't. Without Waino, you don't really have a veteran guy.
Right.
And Waino is Waino. Waino is as competitive as they come. Hates to lose. But I also believe that he is a firm believer in a voice that some of those guys need more of. And I don't know that we have that on a coaching staff side of it.
No, because you got rid of Buddha. And so you have a 1980s ball club roster, but yet you have the 2021 analytical, it's got to be a strikeout or home run. It's not meshing. The philosophies aren't meshing. And so you get rid of Buddha. You want to keep, what is it, Albert or whatever, the hitting coach. You want to keep him, and you're trying to go young and whatever. You can say your reasons why, but I still a firm believer of you've got to teach the fundamentals, and you've got to.
McGee's still coaching.
Yeah, he's still there. Yeah, he's still on.
He's not as consistent though. I don't think
he's an assistant coach. Pop Warner, third base coach. Stubby Clapp.
It just goes back to you got to look at, and this is where we kind of I talked to you about this about hockey because I don't know anything. Are you trying to put a square peg through a round hole with the team that you have and the philosophy of what you're trying to do? You have right now Bro Neal, who's hitting for power, who's doing the philosophy of 2021 Moneyball, right? You don't have that in anybody else. Okay, Goldie, he's hurt. I think his back's bothering him. He's been inconsistent lately. Arenado's, I think he's 280 or something like that. So I think, in my opinion, he's doing better than a first-year player in a new team than what I thought he was going to do. Other than that, where's the consistency?
There isn't.
And the reason why is because I think philosophically they're playing it wrong. You've got to teach. You've got to teach. Lay down a bunt. You've got Bro Neal, you got Bader, and Edmund, three fast guys on your team. Are they stealing? No. Are they bunting? No. Are they learning to hit to the opposite field on a hit and run? Yachty will. We talked about that, but he's almost 40 years old.
That's right.
He started in a different era. So if it's, once again, definition of insanity. We say this all the time. Definition of insanity. Trying to do the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. It's not
working.
It's not working. You've got to do something different. On top of, let's just be honest, the pitching right now is not good.
No.
The pitching situation is definitely not helping them.
And I think that here's where the Cardinals are at this point. They were in first place by 4.5 games. And
think about that. Now, give Chicago credit. They are playing phenomenal.
I agree, 100% agree.
Yeah, and Chicago, I think, was going to be a seller.
Yeah.
Now, they're going to have to be a buyer, right?
Think about it. Bryant's walking, or he's on his walking contract year. Rizzo on his year.
Yeah.
All these guys, you know what I mean? And now it's like,
I'd love to have Rizzo.
I think
like Rizzo.
The shortstop.
Because they were talking. Baez.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the Cardinals are going to have to figure out here. You had a 4.5 game lead, all the way down now to your 6.5.
You're like 32 and 33 or whatever it is.
You've got a losing record.
You're 6 or 6.5 out right now, and at this point, we have to make some kind of move to get a starting pitcher.
I don't think they do. I do not think they do. I think they ride out the storm, and here's why.
Too late.
No. Here's why. At the end of the day, and this was either on the radio, this was online, it was somewhere. They had an article. Well, they talk about St. Louis being baseball heaven. People are going to come flock. Now that we can get 100% capacity, people are going to go to the games. At the end of the day, DeWallet only cares about making money. So if people are going to go to the stands, he doesn't care what the roster looks like. He's in the back counting all the money like Scrooge McDuck. That's all that is. So until we as fans say, you're not getting my $200 for a family of 4 to go see the product that you decided to create, you're not getting my money.
I wish I had a
I've done
quack.
that.
I
You
wish
know,
I had a quack sound effect
right.
right there.
But I honestly, to your point, and that's why I think that the Cardinals have to make a move for starting pitching, because if they get down 10 games,
it's hard to come back.
Well, they should have made that move a week ago.
They don't have.
It's not like they haven't
Who
known.
are you gonna? What move? You're not trading anybody. You're not
they're going to
trading.
get rid of some of those young guys.
Huh?
There's young outfielders. They're going to have to
They
start.
might.
They're going to have to start getting rid of some of those young outfielders.
Who?
Who
Well,
does
you're
anyone
not-
want?
I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
just
You're not
throwing
getting
out-
rid of. You're not
gonna
getting
have
rid
to-
of anybody.
You're going to have to do it.
Somebody mentioned get rid of DeYoung and bringing Sosa in as a shortstop.
Who's going to pick up DeYoung right now?
Nobody
what,
wants
what
him right
other
now.
What other program's going to pick up a guy batting probably not his weight right now that just came off the IL for however many weeks?
Yeah, but
Nobody's. That's the thing. We can sit here and say make a move all we want. If the only move that we can do right now is to go get guys that are free agents.
Well, the only other move we could do. The problem is you're giving up Gorman.
That ain't happening. That is not happening.
If you're going to make a move, you're going to have to give up Gorman.
So you mean to tell me
I'm
you're going
not
to trade?
telling you to do it.
I know, but I'm just saying. But he's saying make a move. You're going to give
do
up
something.
Gorman for a rental when you're 6 games, 10 games, 15 games
Well,
out.
if you plan on if you
you're-
know you're going to sign the third baseman, then I'm fine with it.
If you're throwing the towel in already and done with it, I'm not. And
I'm not either.
As an owner, if you're throwing in the towel right now, then our St. Louis Cardinal fans need to be flipping livid and not show up to a game the rest of the year. Because
But think about it. They built this stadium and talked about, we're going to sign the best players. We're going to do this and that. People aren't wanting to come to St. Louis anymore.
No.
Free agents aren't wanting to come here.
Right.
I'm tired of coming in last. We came in a couple bucks short. We came. Bull crap, Wallet. Open it.
I think here's the big point of the Cardinals and their organization right now is, and you hit it on the head. St. Louis Cardinal fans will show up, win, lose, or draw, and they will support.
Hey, we did
this.
that for the Rams. Look what that got us. But go ahead.
And so I honestly too believe that if they don't go out and make some kind of move here, you're going to start losing these Arenados, Goldschmidts, that are guys that wanted to come here. They heard all about how solid St. Louis was. And I think here's my philosophy on this, and I think it goes back to – I'm going to go back to Albert Pujols. Okay, Albert Pujols left here 10 years ago, had a chance to come back here this year. And
wanted to come back here.
We did not do it.
Even if it was less
one
than
year.
$500,000
For 1 year.
Yeah.
Not only would him made a difference, he may not have made a huge impact on the field, but in the dugout, in the stands. I mean,
Clubhouse, all
you
that,
start putting that all into play. This organization would have been went through the roof.
Right.
And when we were 4.5 up, we could have jumped to 12.5 up.
And if Goldschmidt is really hurt.
Yeah, I mean, and so that terminally made me believe that the Cardinals are not worried about this year. They are focusing on the future moving forward, and they're going to get by with what we got and move on to next year and focus on that.
How many years have we heard this?
I know, but that's what I think about. But there's no. Albert Pujols was the 100% reason why I think that's the case.
But
if they would have signed him, I would have thought, okay, you know what? They're going to take him on as a builder of a confidence in the clubhouse. One, he's a St. Louis Cardinal for life. He's going to be 2. He's going to be a morale booster. 3, he's going to play with, Waino and Yachty, which is going to build morale amongst that group.
Right.
And it's going to change everything. And I honestly too believe that's 100% why.
Ron Rhodes asked,
Bobs.
question, how many years has it been in a row that the Cardinals missed the playoffs?
Well, go back to Matheny's
2013
tenure. It's been several years in
Almost
Matheny's
10 years.
last several years. Because Schultz, they didn't make it when he came in that first year. And so it was probably they've only been in the playoffs this past year and the year before, and it was wild card, and it was like the second.
Well,
wild
one of them
card.
we had to play in a game to
There
get
you
in
go.
there.
Right. So, and to me, I just go back to, they say, oh, the standard needs to be going to the playoffs. No, I think the standard for me as a potential ticket buyer is that you're putting together a roster that I want to go watch. Because at the end of the day, we say this all the time, and you guys laugh, it's about entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
It's about me taking my hard-earned money and going and being entertained. And right now, I'm not entertained, and I don't want to go. I don't want to spend the time. I don't want to spend the money. I don't want to spend the effort to go through all of that. And I think what happens is you talk about the players not coming here. Why would you want to come here? What's the selling point? What's the selling point to come here right now?
Right.
You can go out to the coast. You can go out to either coast. You can get a $300 million contract at all these other places. Weather's going to be better. You're going to have the bright lights in the big city. It used to be, no. We're playing for championships.
Yeah.
That's what we are missing. But that was because Jocketty was putting together rosters and to compete for championships
every year.
Mosaic not?
I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't ever seem consistently.
He's not the general manager. What's that guy's name?
Gersh.
Gersh.
This right here is not consistently opening up. It's staying a little bit open.
I don't want to hear we're a small market or middle market. We're not.
No,
we are not.
No.
Okay,
no,
it's not. You can sit here and say we're in the Midwest and geographically we're a small market team, but no.
Right.
No.
I agree.
I just remember when they built the stadium, and it was all this talk about how we were going to compete for multiple championships, and we were going to keep getting the big names and blah 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 blah. We haven't.
This is what 2-3 years in a row where we were trying to get a big name. We're trying to get this big name, that big name, and we came up short. And next thing you know, why am I even going to fool with you? Because I know from the past 2-3 years you're going to lowball me.
Right.
And I can go to L.A. or I can go to San Diego, I can go to New York, I can go to whoever else, and they're gonna give me what I want.
Yep. I struggled watching all those Chicago Cub fans, man. They were having such a great time.
They were.
I was like, this sucks.
Right.
I'm glad I wasn't here this weekend.
But
glad I was in Clearwater and couldn't even get reception.
It's not fun to watch.
No KPWB down there?
No, I didn't even bother.
There might have been, but he wasn't even going to take a chance.
No, wasn't even going to waste my time.
You know, I'll check the app or maybe turn it on TV and. Well, let's see. It's third inning. Well, maybe they've got a run or two by now.
It's
maybe
2-2 right now. I don't know if that's changed.
I think it's still the same.
Yeah, it is. Well, that's
it's the Marlins.
Yeah, I know. Well, gentlemen, that's we'll call it a wrap here on a hay fever episode here. So
hay fever.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Before we leave though, I'm Zach McVay, and we need to bring back steroids in baseball. Are you not entertained when steroids are back in baseball? I'm not coming back to Busch Stadium until there's steroids in baseball.
And I'm
say
Zach
that in
McVay,
a couple
and
weeks
I'm liable
this
to go
message.
to a game. But that's because if my kid wants. Now, my kid wants to go to a game. He says, "Dad, let's go to." Okay, I'm going to a game. Right? That's going to happen. But other than that, they're not getting my dollar.
No, I say no.
Are you getting free tickets?
I say no.
I'd get free tickets. If I can get free tickets, I'll go.
I got four.
Especially if it's all inclusive. Free tickets.
They had a really good deal going on.
3-2 Cardinals. O'Neal just drove in a run.
Oh, imagine that! That's my boy.
I know, right?
There's
There's one. We need about 8 more, right?
Yep.
8 more O'Neals. I'd take it.
8 more guys hitting consistently.
So I heard they had a really good deal going on here, where you get a ticket and a hot dog. I think it's like $6, something like that.
$6 deal.
So we should just all go and have a show out there.
I think I'd love it.
Be fun.
What
do you think?
You paying?
Hey,
what do you think?
You buying?
Sure, I'll buy it.
All right.
Hey,
I'll go. I ain't getting my money.
I'll buy the 5 tickets.
My Washington.
Your brothers.
He can't spell O'Neal correctly, but I mean, he's got to say. I mean, I get it.
Just spelled it right. Is it O'Neal? Isn't it? Is it
Not
N-E-I-L?
E-I-L.
Is it I-L?
Yeah, his is EIL.
Yeah.
I just want to make fun of my brother, but I mean,
David Jarvis will let you come out here and kick his butt later.
I told him if he'd show up, we'd put him on the show. He's chicken.
He's a big guy, isn't it? I met him a few weeks ago.
He's hiding behind this phone technology thing.
Yeah,
Come on out.
He's waiting to pounce at the right time.
I saw him get marched out one time.
True statement.
All right, there you have it. There you are. Thanks for watching the Coach's Box.
We'll see
We
you
will
next
be back.
Monday.
Yeah, we will be back next Monday. You guys will be back next Monday. I'm not sure. Am I supposed to be here next Monday?
I think next Monday you have something going on.
Are we going to have the blue ball?
We're
Might
going to
have the blue ball.
We might have the ball, or we may have a fill-in. We may have,
Hey,
may have a
fill-in.
fill-in for it.
Ruh-roh.
So we'll see. We'll
Watch
see.
out. Watch out. Who's that going to be?
Fill it in.
We'll see how it goes.
Find out.
All right, thanks for watching the
Autocorrect,
Coach's
whatever.
Box.
So tune in
We'll
next
see
Monday to see who it is.
See you next week. Have a good week.